G'day and welcome to the Brits in the NRL Round 21 review, and we're starting with James Graham, who played his 400th first grade game. That includes St Helens in the Super League, the Canterbury Bulldogs, and now the Big Red V, St George Illawarra Dragons. Now, the Dragons had a 40-28 win over the Gold Coast Titans. It was a game that, happens at this time of year between two teams that are out of the running for the playoffs. A lot of attack, not a hell of a lot of intensity in defence, but James Graham, great celebration for an awesome player and a great bloke. Big jammer, 400 games in the engine room, brilliant effort, and he had a good game actually against the Titans. Here's some stats for you. He played 67 minutes at prop forward. That's a hell of an effort for 131 metres, 48 post-contact metres and 34 tackles. So a big effort from James Graham. You knew with it being his 400th, he was always going to have a big game. Now Gareth Widdop, he's getting back to form. 3 try assists and a couple of classy touches. It's a shame the Dragons lost him for so long. It really cruelled their season. And Callum Watkins, unfortunately for the Titans, he's really playing in a struggling team. He's having a crack. He ran for 64 metres and 18 tackles, but really they're now coming last by 6 points because the Bulldogs upset the Tigers. So the Titans and Callum Watkins unfortunately are going to take home the wooden spoon this year unless something dramatic happens. Now, the 4 Englishmen at the Canberra Raiders, they had a 22-18 loss to the Sydney Roosters. I was out there yesterday at GIO Stadium. It was a fantastic game of football. The Raiders gave as good as they got. They were down 6-0 early, bounced back to a 12-6 lead at half. Then I think it was 12-all at half time. The Roosters hit the front and skipped to a 10-point lead, and then Josh Hodgson set up a brilliant try for Elliott Whitehead with a little grubber behind the Roosters line. So it was 22-18 with about 14 minutes to go, and the Raiders were just coming hard at the Roosters, but just couldn't quite get over the line. It was a fantastic effort from each of the Englishmen. Actually, Ryan Sutton came off the bench. He played 32 minutes, but 65 metres and 24 tackles. It was a good comeback from Ryan, and he'll only improve the Raiders as we come into the final 4 games before the finals. Now, Elliott Whitehead not only scored a try, ran for 96 metres, 1 tackle break and 28 tackles. Josh Hodgson was probably the best of the Brits in this game. He had a fantastic game, nearly got the Raiders over the line. 2 try assists, 40 tackles. Massive effort from Josh. Really scooted out a dummy half well. Probably just the last 20 minutes when the Raiders really needed some extra creativity. He just couldn't provide it. The Roosters' defence held firm, but it was a really good effort from Josh. And John Bateman, another really good game, 113 metres, 2 tackle breaks, 35 tackles, and a brilliant offload for the very first Raiders try for Jordan Rapana. He's brilliant in heavy traffic, Bateman. He just always seems to be able to just find a way to pop a ball. He's always looking to pop a ball. He had a few offloads in that game yesterday. Now, each of the Englishmen that started the game, Whitehead, Hodgson and Bateman, all had a one-on-one steal each. Now, the Englishmen at the Raiders have become the best in the game at this, and Trent Robinson blew up after the game. He hates this new rule. But the rule's there, and the Englishmen have learnt how to do it. Josh Hodgson's the best of them, but they each got one yesterday. So big effort from the Raiders. Because the Bunnies lost, the Raiders are still coming third. And speaking of the Bunnies, they went down 26-16 to the Melbourne Storm. Now Sam Burgess got ruled out on Thursday, I think it was, quite late. Hopefully he'll be back this week. So that really damaged the Rabbitohs, and the Storm were just too good. It was a big effort from Thomas Burgess. He only played 30 minutes for 127 metres and 4 tackle breaks. That's a hell of an effort from 30 minutes, so well done, Tom. But bad luck to the Bunnies. Now, just quickly, Ryan Hall is still out with his patella injury, hopefully back this week. But with the Roosters on a bit of a roll, he's going to find it hard to break into that starting lineup, so he may come back through the North Sydney Bears in the Canterbury Cup. And no Chris McQueen. He didn't feature for the West Tigers or the West Magpies. Now, Herbie Farnworth in the Queensland Intrust Super Cup had a day out. The North Devils beat the Northern Pride 62-14. Herbie scored 4 tries, ran for 176 metres, 11 tackle breaks, 4 line breaks, and kicked 9 from 11. So a great day out for Herbie Farnworth, and it's good for Anthony Seibold to know that if the Broncos need anyone, a winger or a centre, Herbie's there raring to go. So there we go, that's it for the Brits in the NRL this week. I'm dipping my lid to James Graham. He was the star of the show in my eyes, 400th game, and the Dragons got a win. Well done to James, well done to the Dragons.